to spread some love, whoop some ass, spread some love, whoop some ass. I came here to spread some love.
What up, Shinigami Kai? Shinigami here. With my boy Brutus. And welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Storytime. And this one's special because it's going to be in two parts. And it's going to be the tale of my journey to the OG Street Beefs yard that I never thought I'd get to see or fight in or anything. So it was an amazing trip. Scarface paid for me to fly out and do an exhibition with their East Coast champ, Big Smile. And what a war that was. Rematch coming. So I'd like to actually start off by telling you a little story about the flight over there. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and stuff saw that I had my mask on that I have in my merch store on Teespring with my logo on it, which is actually also right here. As you can see, it says Shinigami on it. Here's the Head Kick 2020 shirt. Make sure you buy it on my Teespring store. Link in the description below. So, sitting on a plane with this mask on. Had to make a connection in Denver to get to Virginia. So it's like a 2-hour and 15-minute flight from Burbank to Denver. And there's this guy sitting next to me on the plane. We talk a little bit at the beginning when we're flying, out of Burbank over Lancaster because he knows people in the Antelope Valley too. And I tell him, that's where I'm from and stuff. We fly over Lake LA, and I pointed out, I'm like, that's Lake LA right there. There's Lancaster, Palmdale, Lake LA right here. So, about an hour and 45 minutes into this flight, the guy looks at me and says, "You ever heard of Streetbeefs?" I was like, now keep in mind, I had a mask that said Shinigami on it with my logo and everything. So, I look at him and I go, Streetbeefs. That sounds familiar. I think so. Maybe it's probably been a while. It's on YouTube, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, what is that again? He's like, it's this cool thing where they have people fighting in backyard, they do MMA in like a backyard and like a cage and everything. It was like dirt on the ground. It's just really awesome. I was like, yeah, I think I have heard of that. Sounds familiar. He's like, okay, cool. Do you ever see the one where the guy in the karate gi knocks the guy out real quick with the head kick? I was like, when was this? He was like, I don't know, a few months ago. I was like, sounds kind of familiar. I don't know. Oh, I'm the guy who was in the gi. I kicked the guy in the face. It was Detail. He was like, oh, no way. I knew it was you. I recognized your hair. I knew I recognized the hair. I'm like, the hair? I'm wearing a mask with my logo on it. It says Shinigami on it. But the hair, I'll take it. I do take pride in my hair, after all. But I just thought that was crazy. He was like, oh, man, my friends, man. I'm going to tell all of them. I don't know if they're going to believe me or not. I was like, dude, we can take a picture when we get off the plane. He's like, nah, I'm not a groupie like that. I was like, hey, it's fine with me either way. It's one less thing for me to do when I get there. But, nice meeting you, da-da-da-da-da. So that was the beginning of this journey. So I get to Virginia. There was some delays on the way over there. Because the weather was funky in Denver. We actually were sitting in the plane for almost an hour. And then we had to wait. Because there was a bunch of planes that all had to use the same runway. So they actually delayed our flight for that. Then because of the weather, they had to spray de-icer on the plane, which took another half hour. And I was scheduled to land in Washington, D.C. at Dulles International Airport at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Didn't land until 1:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So, get off the plane, get on my, our ride picks us up. Look him up on Streetbeefs. He's Freeman. That's his fight name. on there. So picks me and my coach up. We go to the hotel. It's like 2:30 in the morning when I check in. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to pass out because I got to get up and acclimate myself to this East Coast time. So I set my alarm for like 9 in the morning. Figure I'll get like 7 hours, 7.5 or 6.5, 7 hours. Wake up at 9 in the morning, my body's screaming at me at 6 a.m. Why are you awake? Shinigami is not a morning person. I hate getting up to go train in the morning, but it's necessary. So, you know, end up hooking up with Demon Monsoon because I needed a ride to Walmart to get some stuff for the weekend that I couldn't take on the plane, like a couple of gallons of water and some food and stuff, you know, like groceries, because I didn't have room for them in my backpack. So I call Scarface, or I make a post in the group. Demon Monsoon offers to pick me up. Dude picks me up. He's like, I can't believe it. Shinigami, da-da-da. I'm a huge fan. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're the... Dude, I've been watching you for, like, ever since you started fighting in Streetbeefs, like, a couple of years ago. You're the legend, dude. Like, bro, you're, like, one of the only boxers I really consistently watch, dude. You're a beast. It's like, oh, man, thank you, dude. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, big ups to him. He's a really cool guy. You know, he's got autism. He's pretty high functioning, I believe. And so I don't know if you guys ever watch his fights. If you notice, he has an autism flag that he brings in as his battle standard every fight. So he's like, later on, I'm going to go to neutral corner. You know, you want to come check it out, warm up a little bit, do whatever you need to do. You know, get ready for tomorrow, meet everybody. So I show up, and I mean, not everybody's there, but there were a few people there. I got to meet Coach Bang Time. That was cool. And he had me sign the flag. So, you know, got to stretch out, warm up, get ready, get loosened up for the next day. Ran some drills with my, you know, jiu-jitsu coach, jiu-jitsu professor, you know, my corner man. And, yeah, it was crazy. Real nice setup. I got to, you know, chill in that indoor cage they use. Posted an Instagram video from there. That was awesome. And then I went back to the room. You know, we had a decent dinner. I carbo loaded a bit. Showed up, or got picked up early the next morning. Showed up at the event, and that's where things got great. Crazy great. So I obviously kind of had a feel for how Streetbeefs was probably going to be on the East Coast because the West Coast, like, it's a community, it's a family. A lot of people just see it as people fighting in the backyard, and they associate it with like illegal fight clubs where people get paid, because that's not what it is, though. You know, it's completely legal. It was started to kind of drive down gun violence. You know, their slogan is guns down, gloves up. You know, they're there to settle disputes mainly, even though it's become a huge platform for people to come promote themselves and compete and get themselves out there, get their brands out there. I believe I mentioned this before, but there was a guy, maybe not on this channel, definitely an interview. There was a guy who went on there, and his fight name was the name of his plumbing company, so he could promote his plumbing company. And I show up, and I get out of the car, and nobody really noticed me that much when I first got there. As soon as I went and changed into the fit, everybody starts coming up to me. Oh my God, it's Shinigami. You're really here, man. You're a legend. I'm like, I think the first person who noticed me was Pitbull Matthews. And I was like, what? Pitbull Matthews, oh my God, it's you. You're awesome. Excellent heart. I lost my marbles when you finally won one, dude. I was rooting for you, dude. And when you finally got that W, dude, I jumped off my couch and was yelling at the top of my lungs, like cheering for you. He was like, oh, that's awesome, man. Dude, I love you. You're a great fighter, da-da-da-da. Then the OGs really start rolling in, dude. Iraqi Assassin, Scarface, you know. Lord Esteban comes up and is like, oh my God, Shinigami, dude, da-da-da-da-da. Dude wanted a picture with me, everything. It was crazy. People were asking me for pictures. I got to meet Fair Play. He was like, "Hey, Shinigami, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, I gotta ask you something, Fair Play. Do you wear the gi? Because you saw me wear the gi first. Like, because if so, that's awesome. Like, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, man. So you do it. So I was like, why not? You know, I was like, that is awesome. Like, of all the things I never thought I would inspire, to be people wearing gis in fights, but that was cool. Matter of fact, I actually have to send him a gi. I have his address. I'm probably going to try to do that this week or next week because I have some A5s that don't fit me anymore. And he's actually bigger than he looks on camera. He's actually like an inch taller than me, a little wider in the shoulders, and pretty jacked. So, he wears like an A5. I actually dropped down to an A4, and I still have a gut. If I lost my gut, I'd have an A4 fit loose. So, definitely sending him one of the A5s I got because he actually managed to score one of the black Spider Monkey Century Gis. All I could get was white because they were on clearance. But Iraqi assassin, dude. I was just like, yeah, that was like the whole day. It was like, Shinigami, oh my god. I was like, no, Beach, oh my god. Turk, oh my god. It was amazing getting to meet everybody. And then the fight happened. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. If you have, go watch it again because YouTube made them delete like 300 videos and they just re-uploaded it. And we were at like almost 400,000 views. So we need to get that view count back up because that was heading towards another million pretty quick. And since Streetbeefs is all about exposure, that had buried Big Smile's highest viewed fight prior, which I believe was actually his very first fight, and that took months for him to get there on there. So if you guys can all go over there to Streetbeefs and let's get that view count back up to where it was and higher, that'd be awesome. So yeah, I get in there and I didn't expect it to really be like enemy territory the rest of the day, but as soon as I got in there and they introduced Big Smile, I knew what was going to go on for the next, however long we were in there. I thought it was going to be like 10 minutes, but it was 6-minute, I think, 3 rounds instead of 5. Because we do 5 on the West Coast for title shots. And even though it was an exhibition, I thought we were going to do champion rounds. So, fight happens. Starts off. Try not to get taken down, but I did. I reversed it. I ended up in a good position, and then I decided to go for glory and try to do a standing ankle lock. But because I was trying to get it so fast, I made a white belt mistake and put my feet square when I didn't need to do that. I just needed to put my hips forward. So he grabbed my heels and Ashigarumi'd me. And the worst part was I knew he was trying to go for it because as soon as I stepped my left foot forward, he grabbed the heel. Which put me in a bad spot. I deserved it. I screwed up. There was some confusion because the crowd was so loud and somebody yelled time, or he thought he heard somebody yell time, so they stopped the round a few minutes early, or a few seconds early, not a few minutes, a few seconds early. And I knew I wasn't finished. Big Smile thought he finished me. We're going to run it back, for sure. But it was a great fight. I managed to implement my game plan, that I had trained for the rest of the fight, mostly pretty well. And then I got to ref 1, which was great. So if you want to see me ref and do better than I did the first few times I ref the Streetbeefs West Coast 6, go check out The Freak versus Jackal. Also, shout out to Jens Pulver for giving me advice on how to be a better ref, as well as a better fighter. If you guys don't watch him on Twitch, you guys need to get a Twitch and go tune into his live stream. He's on there like every day. At different times, but on the weekend, he's on there like every evening, all weekend. So definitely go check him out. Dude's a legend. Dude's a nice guy. Dude will help. If you're a Streetbeefs fighter, I cannot stress this enough. Go on his Twitch stream, and he will break down your fights for you and give you advice to improve your game. Big ups. And big thanks to Jens Pulver. Now, I didn't think about it till the day after, and I was kicking myself for it. I have 2 Streetbeef shirts. One's black, one's red. I should have taken the red one with me and had everyone at the event sign it. But I didn't. great thing. I stayed to the end of the day. Right before the last fight started, Turk, who was reffing beach boxing against, I can't remember who, because there was so many people, I can't remember everybody's name. Recommended the idea of putting me on the East Coast Wall of Fame, and Face said that's a good idea. And later the next day, he announced it, or early the next day, he announced it in the main group. So Shinigami is going on the Wall of Fame for sure. On the East Coast, when the West Coast gets theirs, I'll be on there because my first fight went over 1 million views. This has been a crazy journey. Anyway, so I didn't think about it, but I stayed longer than just the fight because I wanted to go to neutral corner and train with the guys, which is going to be part 2. So I had the idea because I took these just in case I needed an extra trunks in case I needed. I went to neutral corner on Sunday because I know they're supposed to be open 7 days a week, and I didn't know if I was going to be going there Sunday or not too. So I was like, you know what? I can replace these for class. So what I did was I took these in and asked everybody to sign them. And I don't know if you can see, but I got Demon Monsoon. I've got Demon Monsoon, Keanu, Scarface, Scarface's son. I got, Lord Esteban, Lord Vestaban, Wicked One. I got all those guys on there. And these are going in a frame. And then Turk gave me one of these. Just gave me a Street Fighter Turk shirt. Super nice guy. Everyone was super nice. And then I got to go to dinner after training in Neutral Corner with the Wolverine, Corey Lash. And he gave me a Neutral Corner boxing Streetbeefs long sleeve shirt. And it blew me away. Took me out to dinner, paid for it. Really great place. Some of the stuff was a little hit or miss. It was an Asian place, but it's East Coast. You can't judge. You got to try not to judge it by California standards because 2 things that you're going to get here better than anywhere else is Asian food and Mexican food. So, yeah, that was amazing. The weather was crazy. I managed to actually stay in my fit a little longer than I probably should have, because it wasn't that bad until it got windy, and then the wind would blow and it would get really cold, and then it would stop and I'd warm up, and it would So I was taking pictures of people all day, watching fights. Only in Streetbeefs is something like this gonna happen. Big Smile was cornering Black Goku. I was helping corner a little bit, and then Big Smile had to bounce because it was his wedding anniversary, and his in-laws were waiting for him and his wife to go to dinner or something. So we had to bounce out, after round 3, and it went into a 4th round, and I ended up coaching Black Goku for the whole last round. So only in Street Beefs you didn't get 2 guys who fought earlier, 2 champions who fought earlier, cornering the same guy the same day as their fight. It's crazy. It's a wonderful community, and I can't speak highly enough about it. Scarface is a really nice guy, super chill, super friendly, and I got anybody if you hear anyone talking smack about Scarface or Streetbeefs, they're tripping balls and had done something wrong themselves to get themselves booted or something, because if you're being an upright fighter and an upright person and not doing shady stuff like counting his pockets or demanding money, you're good. So, you ever hear anybody talk trash about Streetbeefs or Scarface, they did something to get themselves booted. and you're going to have to ask them what they did, and they probably still won't tell you the truth. But that being said, I love you guys. I love Streetbeefs. I love my Streetbeefs fam. The amount of positivity that poured in from the West Coast fighters, both before and after the fight, was phenomenal. You know, and I can't wait to run it back. It's actually funny because after the fight, I walked up to Big Smile and told him, after the rematch, I'll take you to In-N-Out, and you're going to want to move to California after that. I guarantee it. So, you know, back to business. And then after the rematch, we'll probably be on buddy terms, just like I am with Storm Rider now. Me and Storm Rider, or not Storm Rider, well, Streetbender. But I mean, I talk to Storm Rider a lot too. That me and Streetbender are pretty buddy now. We talk quite a bit. We actually did a live stream together when I got back. It was wild. Gave 619 and Wedo a run for their money for their little weekly live stream. But yeah, love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Make sure you check out my Teespring. Also, check out the Heart in the Fight Teespring if you want some more professionally designed merch. I do have new designs coming. I've got someone that's working with me on improving the designs for the head kick shirts, the logo shirts. I've got some 8-bit stuff coming that was designed by the guys at Craft Beer Review. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for part 2 coming probably in another week. So this will drop this weekend. The next part will drop the weekend after. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know, head kick that notification bell so you get all of the updates when I upload. And also don't forget to check out my second channel, which I've been neglecting because of fight camp and everything else. But I will be trying to get some more episodes made soon. I just got to, you know, get some movies and script for them. Also kind of just dealing with some copyright claim issues on that, even though everything I do is public domain. But make sure you check that out. And until next time, Shinigami out.
Shinigami, samurai master. Straight up out the land of Lancaster. No one stronger, ain't no one faster. Turning the opponents into Caspers, ghosts, disasters. We don't do no waiting, where I'm from, we attack them. Swift KO kick to the chin, leave them napping. Sniff, take a whiff, that's the smell of victory. Better fear, making all my peers' careers history. Big dubs, all we catch is big dubs. Karate chops to his tops, leave them big slumped. Humble beast, beefing in the street. We don't take no loss, you gon' catch defeat. You gon' catch a fist and some